is, my mind. On top of that, you have to get a
checking
launcher knock in game 3 as well. There are some really tough challenges to kind of get done throughout this one. So it's going to be hard to, let alone, finish off within, game 4 or game 5, maybe a straight bingo. I don't think you can do a straight down bingo, but
well, one of the things that's going to be interesting to watch through the afternoon, right? So let's say we play map 1. Let's say you and me are running in this tournament. We get absolutely smoked, but we'll play map 1. And we manage to get 3 out of the 5 ticked off. Then we go into map 2, and we manage to get perhaps 2 out of the 5 ticked off, and 2 of them line up with 2 of the ones that we got in B. So do we continue to play for the ones that are in like the corresponding lines, or do we just try and do everything and hope that something sticks? Because when you get to map 6, you then get to pick 3 challenges on your card that you haven't completed to try and get yourself a line. So what way do you kind of play this? Are we going to get to like game 3 and everyone's trying to run around with RPGs and stuff, or are we just going to see people play more normally, quotation marks, and just hope that they manage to check things off as they go?
Well, game 1 and game 2 are going to be so important, Enigma, to focus on getting that, victory at the end. That Warzone victory is going to be so key in games number 1 and 2, because that automatically allows you to check off a square that hasn't been worked on, a column that hasn't been worked on. If you can get that Warzone victory early on, have already a space in column 3 filled out, that is going to be huge, just ahead of the game later on down the line. So whoever's going to walk out with these Warzone victories in games 1 and 2 are already going to be way ahead of the game, way ahead of the competition.
Indeed, and as we go on through, guys, we will indeed have that graphic open for you with the scorecard, essentially. So God bless the admins again, because they're going to be running around trying to check that everything's been done as it goes on. But hopefully we're going to catch a whole bunch of these live on stream. So remember, first game in, we're looking for teams to get either 10 elims, a knock via melee or assassination. Anyone who gets assassinated, I am really, really sorry, but that's the rules in this one. Semtex grenade knock. So again, look for people going around and pulling together Semtexes. They are strong right now, but would you necessarily use a Semtex if you weren't, if you weren't taking part in this map? I don't know. Not everyone's running them right now.
I feel like game number 1 is going to be a little bit more of an open world game, when everybody's looking for these armor plays, just looking to collect them, opening up every single box they can find, collect every single armor pack that they can possibly get their hands on. That is going to be, I guess, a big thing. On top of that, if you get the cash and you use, I guess, the drops to get armor boxes and just resupply that automatically, I guess, gets you closer and closer to that, if I'm not mistaken, too. So it is
well, yeah, but
maybe one that you can check off a little bit earlier than the rest.
What I'm thinking here is like, well, we know that Selly has 9 plates spare, right? So what if she dumps them on the ground and the rest of her teammates essentially dump theirs on the ground? I guess they've all landed in a similar area, so they might not be able to find them, but is that what they're looking for right now? Are they looking for plates and then they can get together and stack them all next to each other to get themselves that check on the box? I mean, if so, Selly's already up to a whole bunch here. Drops one down for, I believe that's Almond right behind her. So I do think that is exactly what they're trying to do here. They're trying to get themselves those plates together and immediately check one off, make things easier for them later down the line.
Now that I'm thinking about it, it's not that difficult of a challenge to complete. It's actually not going to take us...
You say that, but if you run into another team right now, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, but if you don't run into a team and you get an armor pack, you can drop those plates, refill your armor, and then drop them again, if I'm not mistaken. But
yeah.
I don't really know how exactly they're going to count the challenges, or what constitutes having those 25 plates. But it definitely seems like one that people can check off earlier than the rest. And on top of, when you're talking about get the knock via melee or assassination, get the assassination, people. Come on, like, this is a fun tournament. I want to see some assassinating going on as we head over towards Team Hisoka and Selly. They're already walking into a team. You can see that they are head on with another team in front of them.
Yeah, so this is one of those moments. If you're close to filling out a challenge, perhaps, do you back it off? But then again, as the crack comes in, maybe this is an opportunity to start getting yourself towards that averaging amount of kills throughout the games, or 10 plus elims as a squad throughout game 1. This is something that could definitely go down. Mosquito drone goes up in the air. Out comes a bomb drone. Almond just throwing the kitchen sink at whichever team is on the other side of this wall.
They're literally using every ounce of his arsenal to figure out their situation, but no information so far from this bomb drone. nobody's going to be seen. Seems like they have them pinned on the inside and they're ready to go. I mean, Melee, Semtex is let's see them. So far, neither team has seemed to, I guess, or take down somebody off Team Selly, but Slacked has gone down. This is Team Apathy that they're playing against. Selly gets knocked, not by a melee, but Hisoka is going to find Raiden. I think that was the knock. Not sure if it was by a gun or melee either, but it's getting a little hard to track these melees.
I don't know if any melee knocks have actually come in yet, but it won't matter if you're Team Apathy because you've just been absolutely torn apart. Selly goes down throughout all of that, sure, but you've just lost 3 players. Slacked was into the goop, wins his perhaps, but I think it's only Clutch Belk who's going to escape from this whole scenario, and he has hightailed it a long way away.
Respect.
See, in moments like that, do you just try and like beat them down? Because like you could have perhaps beaten him down there, right? And tried to get yourself the check on the box. So
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Like that definitely could have been.
It
Could have been right there for sure.
It's a tough one, to be fair, because you're probably worried about just getting picked off. But yeah, Slacked wins his Gulag. We're not sure who this is up against. And remember, guys, by the way, this is customs. So if you go into the Gulag, you could be coming up against a very, very good player. Usually when we talk about tournaments and we're playing in pubs, for example, player goes into the Gulag, you're fully expecting them to get a free kill. That is not necessarily going to happen in customs. You've just seen Slacked, Apathy, and more go into the Goo. And actually, Apathy here against Leonard.
Yeah. Apathy. Oh, he's just listening right now. And what to do. Early shots out, now they know. Oh, absolutely twisted in the Gulag right now. Snaps over, but it's Lennon to return. A little bit of frustration there coming out from Apathy. My prediction for game for who's going to get Bingo first isn't looking too well. Enigma, right off the bat.
It isn't, but you know what? I don't care because that is 1 to Europe, nothing to North America, and I will take that all day after our World Series. Warzone went last year. I will take that. And Lennon picks up the kill, does a great job there. And we're back on board with Team Selly. And I'm wondering if by this point they've already completed the plate challenge because they had a lot earlier on and they've had a couple of moments to reset. So we might have not seen them complete that one. But Almond's in big trouble over by this buy. Hisoka's trying to get over to cover.
Hisoka looking to group back up with the rest of the team.
Oh, my lord.
We snap on over to Twitty, who's inside the smoke. Oh, he's getting punched! Oh, there's the melee!
Melee comes through!
That's Almond!
And ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly how you tick off one of your squares in game 1. That is a guaranteed B for Team Almond. I mean, it's likely that they're on the way to all the rest. We talked about how the plates for them were looking really good, the plate situation. They needed a knock with a Semtex. I'm not sure if they got one throughout all of that, potentially. And they need 10 plus elims as a squad. So they could be well on their way to 3, 4, potentially all 5 of the B column ticked off nice and early.
Definitely an unfortunate way to end your gunfight there against Almond. It's not even a gunfight. He just beats you down, smokes out, and Lightsfire looking to at least rise to the top of that building instead of his 1v1. We're looking at another Gulag. It's Biffle in up against Peachy here. Early shots coming out from Biffle, and now with that health advantage, just looking to play this one safe. Smoke is out, spots the cross. Time is draining low, and Biffle just looking to find his way back into Urzikstan, and that's exactly where he'll find him.
Yeah, Biffle does a great job there. Just as you said, ringing out those early shots, cracks the plates, and essentially buys time, which is exactly how it can play out with the new system that comes on through. I love the way that the Gulags play out in this game, by the way, with the rope coming down. It kind of forces people into a decision, much better than the way that the flag caps used to be, in my opinion. We're on board now, though, by the way, with one of the teams we called out at the very start, and this is FIFA Kill, Zlaner, Destroy, and I forget the fourth thing is Scumming? Yeah, Scumming. So a team that I'm expecting to do very well. They've already got a couple of kills on the board, and you would expect going this far in that they've also had quite a bit of money and the opportunity again to gather those plates together. But the official ruling is that 25 armor plates have to be on the ground between your squad at one time. That's the ruling that I'm reading here. So you're just going to see teams start to like gather them together, like squirrels after nuts kind of situation where they're just picking them up and moving those plates in together. By the way, this team have also picked up an intel contract that tells them exactly where that zone's going to put them.
Just smart too. Maybe get ahead of the curve, hide in towards the next zone, wait for somebody to walk up, and then find that assassination or melee kill, or not even that. The Semtex one seems to be one that we have yet to see teams lock down, at least that we've been looking at on screen. But I'm sure, you know, when it comes down to the armor, it's going to be one to see later on. We see Empathy here is going to be down on the ground. Nice little wraparound here. Almost finds the second. Some nice shots coming out. Believe cleans up, and that's a team wipe on the other side against Team Switch'em.
Intex does really well there, manages to pull off enough movement that he lines up his two opposing players, and they're essentially cross-bodying each other. And what I mean by that is, if you're stood behind your teammate firing forward, your damage just gets absorbed by your teammate, but bullets coming back at you from an opponent goes through both of you, and it causes such a difficult situation. Intex there with the smooth movement, managing to line them up and do a great job to help his team pick up a couple more eliminations. And you would assume, with that and anything else that we might have missed, that this team's well on their way, not only averaging the 8 squad elims across the games, but picking up 10 plus throughout map 1. And you can hear the comms coming on through. They're just looking to prepare themselves, get themselves all the stuff together, cash going down, they've already got PAs, etc. Getting themselves set up for a later game, and a great spot to be in if you're on this Team Intex squad.
I just want to see somebody throw all their armor plates on the ground. Why haven't we seen anybody just dump them all down onto the ground? You know, split between 4 people, it can't be that difficult to gather 25 armor plates, but, you know, maybe it's a little harder than I am really expecting here. But people spotted over here. The UAV is going to give away the location of some people down the hill, and now they've seen it. No early shots coming out, but like Intex just wants to close this gap with Wash in his hands. Caught on the gas, too. This is going to be a tough one. They don't want to be caught in the zone going down, because now that's going to put some pressure on trying to get their teammates back up or trying to get back in towards the zone. It's a race to safety right now between both of these squads.
The problem is, as they push on up to whichever team was coming out of the gas, they then start getting shot at from behind. So they're essentially trapped between 2 teams right on the precipice of the gas circle. It's a nightmare situation to be in, but they've rotated out very, very well. All made one call and went on through. And yeah, Team Apathy look like they are still stuck in a ridiculous blender. That squad have not gotten anything going throughout map 1, but Careless Kitty here, was that a bomb drone? What was that just took her out?
I'm not too sure what it was. It seems like it was not really expected by anybody, but yeah, I mean, Team Apathy, after losing their first initial fights, none of them should have Gulag tokens, so this could be our first team exiting the lobby, or one of our first teams losing, as we do have only 21 teams left, so a couple of them have already met their end. But Apathy's going to get fully knocked now, and I'm sure for the rest of the team, not too many players are going to be able to walk out of that unscathed. So we saw a look at this. It is Team Intex here with 12 kills across the board amongst each other.
So that then will give them a square on their card. That then gives them the 10 kills required in map 1 here. So it gives them at least 1 square. So progress being seen throughout this lobby as it starts to evolve. But Almond needs to bide time and slip some plates back in. His teammate will fall. That's Soka going down in the background. Self, though, available. And do they get the tap to come on through? They don't. The self-revive is burned, but that's probably utility that you're happy to give up considering the situation you're in. Almond does enough, cleans up Foreign Jace, and, well, teammates aren't far away. And Selly manages to save herself, Red. So despite a little bit of burned utility, that's a very good passage of play here for Team Soka.
It is smart knowledge, and not only that, the live pings to get the next one should be a full team wipe on the horizon yet again here for Team Selly. Not to mention that Almond already has that melee knock, so their melee knock card or spot on the bingo card has already been checked off. So on their way to now the 10 plus kills in game number 1. This is a fantastic start from Team Selly.
Yeah, I mean, we looked at these guys, right? You've got Soka, Almond, Biffle, and Selly. It's a hell of a four that are... I mean, we're expecting to see them right through to the late stage, but they couldn't have asked for a much better start. Some of the big teams in this have had poor starts, right? We're talking about Team Apathy rated Slack. They've had a slow start so far in this one. So it's not necessarily going all the way. The big teams, that's a beautiful shot out of Breadman. And that's why we talk about him as one of the best snipers that Warzone have to offer, because he just hits shots like that for no problems at all. And nice and high. This is where he likes to be. Essentially sat in his eagle's nest, waiting to swoop on down and join his team in the ensuing firefight.
Look, I got a 360 snipe on my bingo card. Personally, that I'm going to be looking for throughout the day. And see Brightman already take out the boomstick. That has me excited that maybe he's going to get a little bit fancy with it. But so far, I mean, Not looking to see some 360s in the early game. Nice knock at distance, too, with the MR9. Should be able to clean this one up, and mosquito drone into the air. Not able to find the second, so a chance now to fight back here for their opponents as the smokes go down. Breadman gonna have to look to his team to finish off the rest, which it looks like that team wipe did come through.
Very unlucky there, Bread, by the way. Nearly picks up the Semtex knock. I'm not sure if they still need that at this point, but if they did, they were a hair away from managing to pick one up, having to finish off with the SMG instead. But by the way, as Breadman flashed up his scorecard there, we could see that they've also gone over those 10 kills. So they have that box checked off here nice and early in map 1. And that is going to be, by the way, essentially getting 10 kills is going to be something that will check a box off in every map except for 3. So if you get 10 kills in either map 1, 2, 4, or 5, you check off a box. So again, it is a fun tournament for sure, but there's still that element of competition and slaying prowess that is required.
I mean, we're playing for a grand total of $25,000 split across these teams, so you know they're going to be a little pretty serious. But so
not a bad afternoon, is it? You're playing bingo for 50k. It's not a bad way to spend your Thursday.
No, I'd love to play bingo for 50k personally. But I granted I couldn't load up into a lobby to do half the things that they're doing, but you know, I'm sure I'd have fun.
I actually ran into Biffle and Co. in a pub match the other day. I was taught some very valuable lessons. First of which is run in the opposite direction if you ever see them coming your way. It was a tough time indeed. Speaking of tough times, by the way, Foreign Jace here in a little bit of trouble. He and Missile are alive, but Exact is down, and so is their other teammate that I can't fully read right now, and Jace catches a stun to the face, and unfortunately, although they do have a position here with the edge of circle that will push players towards them, the two players are split, and then if that gas starts coming in, they've got to rotate away and onto any other teams that might be waiting.
Yeah, Jace doing good to not take too much damage, allow for the team to catch any jump. Being down in members, not sure their opponents how many they have standing, but the gas is closing, and Jace is going to have to look for some of these fights. Going to drop all the way down and caught by Lennon. That is another drop for their team. Missile surrounded. And it doesn't look like their squad is going to be making it any farther here in game number 1. So they're going to drop out in 16th place. We head over towards Team Becky Jew, as they are now going to be not too far away from the action that we just saw, actually. So they got to keep their eyes peeled.
Yeah, another squad, by the way, that I'm expected to do really well today. Perhaps didn't get a chance to speak about them at the start. But Mayapo, Becky, Otterize, and Sancho. And I don't know Sancho much, unless that's a name that's being used for a bit of fun. We've seen Breadman coming out with his cat's names in recent tournaments. But, oh, actually, Otterize, though, in big trouble, goes down, picked off from somewhere. So Becky here going to have to do the Lord's work and provide cover fire.
Yeah, the pavilion is occupied at the moment. And wasn't a Semtex kill. Doesn't look like it, but yeah, Scum and FIFA kill, they are gatekeeping right now with the gas, and Becky Jew not too much to, I guess, get through right now. Caught in the gas, and that is going to be it right there, as she's going to fully down herself, and I think that is going to be a chance at the gulag now for Team Becky Jew.
I'm going to put a request in here with the admins, by the way. Any opportunity we get in nice and close, and we listen to Destroy. He was playing a tournament the other day, and my God, if we want a fun time, listening to his call-outs are something special. So if we can get a quick listen in with Destroy as his team take on whoever it is they're up against right now, that would be lovely.
I can get a you have here.
Yeah, get a you.
Smoke that, smoke that.
Club.
And I need a muni you have.
I just fly low left. After the muni and the gazebo thing.
In the water, in the water.
Sure, buy you, D.
Yeah, I need to get this. Hang on.
Find it under the bridge. Absolutely.
It's three up there.
Yeah, enemy. Multiple.
Nading bridge. Nice.
MTZ from the hill.
Smoking it. Yo, buy PA, mate. Buy PA. Here. I'll drop 500. Bleed, please, go.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yo, drop me money, D.
Dropping. I got a durable.
Come back here.
There's two down here.
Let's get under. We're gonna kill
Yo,
them.
looking.
Give a smoke.
Give me a sec.
Please.
Got him. We can hug this low. Hug this low ground. Easy.
Yeah, hug the low ground. Easy. 100%.
Come on.
A lot of floaters and shit above us, but we got low. We got low here.
Well, what a call from them. I mean, their comms are electric right now. I love to hop on with Destroy Enigma and hear exactly, how, I guess on pace they are for this win with 5 teams left. They have the low ground in this fight. They're doing great at fighting their way back up. It looks like Zlaner is going to be the first to drop inside of the smoke. the riot shield's not good enough to keep their next alive. Scummin like knock as well, but with Scummin going down and Destroy on the ground, we might be saying goodbye to this quad.
We might indeed. Thief manages to stay up and I think hugs the river and actually might have something to say about who survives in the rest of this fight. I believe this is an Italian lineup. Predax, Moonride, I recognize. The others I'm not so certain on, but I do think it is an Italian lineup, and well, we won't listen in here because I don't understand any Italian whatsoever, so couldn't tell you a thing. But going back to what Destroy was saying, he's always high energy. That guy does not slow down for a minute, but perhaps in that moment they just needed a reset. It seemed like that they were just looking to take fight after fight after fight, and while it's wonderful for us to watch, it's a very difficult thing to ask yourself in a customs lobby.
Well, here's another team that likes fight after fight. Team Selly still alive until towards the later end. Only 3 players here, but they have the high ground and definitely have all the win condition to put this one away. 2 teams left, 6 players in the lobby. This is a 3 versus 3, but it looks like a couple players have been knocked, so this could seriously be down to maybe one last player, but so patient at a Team Selly. The smokes are going to be down. Semtex is maybe to catch a last little bit of a knock with their lethals, but at this point, Team Selly in a great standing to put this one away. Players now looking to climb the mountain. Hisoka is going to find the first knock, a full kill as well. Down we go. Now Team Selly for the flank. A second one gets knocked now for the Warzone victory. And game number 1, Team Selly are going to take it.
Absolutely superb players out of the squad that we talked about so much at the start of the afternoon. We said that this team was one to watch, and they got off to a fantastic start. We already know that they definitely got 10 plus elims. We know that they got a melee knock as well. We're not 100% sure on the Semtex. We're not 100% sure on the armor plates, but then the other square that might come in for them and will do currently, we will see throughout the rest of the afternoon, is the average amount of elims throughout those games. Also, by the way, for getting a victory, you fill out the golden square that is smack bang in the middle of your card. So a lot of boxes checked already if you're Team Selly.
It's just one of those things that I mentioned at the very beginning of game number 1. It's if you want to get ahead of the curve right now, if you want to just have a